Hello students, welcome to Legacy AIS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the recent issue related to Indus Water Treaty, that is a treaty between India and Pakistan, and what is the reason behind India issuing a notice to Pakistan regarding the amendment and modification on this particular treaty. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss in detail about what is Indus Water Treaty, what is the Indus River and what are its major tributaries, and what are the main areas of concern where India and Pakistan keep coming on loggerheads with each other in related to this particular area. So first of all, to give you the background of this recent issue that has come up is because India has issued a notice to Pakistan where it has sought to modify more than 6 decade old Indus Water Treaty. Indus Water Treaty was signed near 1962 and it was last year we have completed 60 years of this particular treaty. So while issuing the notice to Pakistan, New Delhi has says that it is a notice that has been given to Pakistan following the intransigence that Pakistan has showed in the implementation of this particular treaty. And why Pakistan has shown this intransigence? The reason is because every now and then, whenever India tries to set up any hydroelectric plant, hydroelectricity plant on this Indus River on its tributaries, Pakistan raised repeated objections and thus scuttle or try to stop the construction of such hydro projects on the Indian side, due to which India has to face a lot of problem. It is in this regard, India has sent this issue through the Commissioner for Indus Waters. And after sending this issue, India has said that Pakistan has been given 19 days, and within the 90 days, it has to consider entering into intergovernmental negotiations with India to rectify the material breach of the treaty. Now, what is the outcome or what is going to be the outcome of this particular notice and how Pakistan reacts? It is still remain to be seen. So, we'll update you with those also once the matter is settled. Then what we can say if we talk about Indus Water Treaty is that, to give you a brief introduction, it is 6 decade old treaty as we just have discussed. It was signed on 15th of November 1962 between three parties. Three parties from the India side, we have Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the then Prime Minister of India. Then we have General Ayub Khan from the side of Pakistan, and also we have one mediator who was representative of the World Bank. So this is a treaty between India, Pakistan, and the World Bank, and treaty basically focuses upon equitable water sharing between India and Pakistan as far as the Indus and its 5 tributaries, that means total of 6 rivers, are concerned. In briefly, as an outcome of this particular treaty, India basically conceded 80.5% of the total aggregate water flows in the Indus system to Pakistan. And not only that, India also provided rupees 83 crore in the pound sterling currency, so that Pakistan is able to develop infrastructure so that it can harness the water that is coming from India toward the Pakistan. So if we try to understand how the sharing of water is being done between India and Pakistan as per this treaty, so first of all, what we can say that the major river here is the Indus River, that as you can see on the map, it originates from the Tibet Plateau and then flows through the Indian side of Ladakh, and then it enters into Jammu Kashmir, and after that it flows into the Pakistan. Now, after that, what we can see, once it enters into Pakistan, it receives a lot of tributaries. Major tributaries that we can see that is coming out and joining Indus. In India, we have rivers such as Byas, we have Jhelum River, we have Chenab River, we have Ravi that is originating from India, and then we have Satluj that originate from the Tibet again, enters India in Himachal Pradesh via Shipkila Pass, and then travel all the way into Pakistan, where it joins the combined branch of Jhelum, Chenab, and Ravi. And after Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, and Satluj meet with each other, it finally meets Indus near the place called as Panjanath in Pakistan. After receiving water from all its 5 tributaries, then Indus goes in the southward direction, where around the Karachi city it forms a delta before draining into the Arabian Sea. Now, what is important fact you have to remember here is the Byas. If you look at this small river Byas, this is the only tributary of Indus that does not go into Pakistan. Byas originates in India and then it simply merges with the Satluj River near the Harike of Punjab, and after this the combined stream goes into Pakistan. So Jhelum, Chenab, Byas, Ravi, and Satluj, these are the rivers that are major tributary of Indus. So as far as the Indus Water Treaty of year 1962, it was decided that as far as the eastern rivers such as Ravi, Byas and Satluj are concerned, annual flow of this river before entering Pakistan is around 11 cubic kilometer. So the entire water flow that is in the Indian side from these three rivers, India will have full rights on all the water. And after that, India utilizing its full right potential, whatever water is left, Pakistan can then use that for its own consumption or for doing various activities. However, as far as the western river, that is Indus, Jhelum and Chenab is concerned, the total flow of this particular river system, three particular river systems, is around 232.5 cubic kilometer. And as per this treaty, out of this 232.5 cubic kilometer of the water, India can only use 20%. That means almost 62.2 cubic kilometer of water only. Remaining 80%, that is 170.3 cubic kilometer water, is reserved for the use of Pakistan. So this is the major crux of the Indus Water Treaty as far as the sharing of water is concerned. If you look at the total area of Indus Basin, it covers almost 11.65 lakh square kilometer. Out of this, 47% lies in Pakistan, around 39% of area lies in India, 8% lies in Tibet, that is part of China, as per our India's one China policy, and also 6% of this area lies in the Afghanistan. So this is the overall understanding we can have about the Indus River and its tributaries. Now the question comes that if already the way how water can be distributed, which country has to use how much water is delineated perfectly, then why there is a dispute that rises up? So the dispute does not rise directly regarding to sharing of water. It rises due to the construction of projects on this river. So in recent time, two hydel projects that India has tried to set up on the river, such as Kishan Ganga on the Kishan Ganga river, which is a tributary of Jhelum, which is a western river. And then we have Ratle project, which was to be established on the Chenab river. Both these projects have been questioned and has been brought under what we can say as kind of confrontation between India and Pakistan. However, India has this stand on both this project that the kind of question that Pakistan is raising in these two topics on these two projects is very technical in nature, and that is why it should not be brought under the ambit of the Court of Arbitration under Indus Water Treaty. However, Pakistan has invoked the dispute resolution mechanism to tackle and to solve the issue related to Kisan Ganga and Ratle project. So let us try to understand that as per Indus Water Treaty, what is the dispute redressal mechanism that has been established if any country have differences regarding the sharing of water or any kind of project that is being commissioned on the rivers. So this dispute redressal mechanism has been clearly established under Article 9 of the Indus Water Treaty. And as per this, it is a stage-wise settlement mechanism where in the first stage, if any country has question regarding any of the projects being made or being established on any of the Indus River and its tributaries, the first stage is called as clarification stage, where country can ask questions regarding that particular project. And this stage, that is the clarification stage, is settled at the level of permanent Indus commissioners that has been established under this treaty. Suppose the question and the answer given by other party is not found to be satisfactory. In that case, it would be understand that a question has led to differences between two countries, and thus we enter into the second stage, which is called as resolution of differences stage. And at this stage, a neutral expert committee is set up, established with the mediation of World Bank, which has been done in the case of Kishanga and Ratle few years back. Now, if suppose this differences is also not able to be solved by the neutral expert committee, then it would be understood that now a kind of what we can say a dispute has arose between two countries, and thus there is a need of interpretation of this treaty so that the final solution can be agreed upon. And then the matter will be referred to the Court of Arbitration, and whatever decision that has been given by Court of Arbitration in this case is considered to be final and binding in nature under the ambit of this treaty. So this is a three-stage dispute redressal mechanism that treaty has established. Now coming to the major issue that why India has sent a notice to Pakistan or how it has sent a notice. So as far as the official reports are concerned, India has sent this notice under Article 12 subclause 3 of the treaty. And this particular article tackles and deals with the provision to amend the treaty after having intergovernmental consideration or intergovernmental consultations. But the problem is that any amendment in the treaty can only be done by a duly ratified treaty that is concluded for that particular purposes, and that is again a very lengthy kind of task, and we will have to see that whether Pakistan agrees to it or not. That means simply what we can say, that this treaty cannot be amended, modified unilaterally, because that will be against the overall crux of the treaty, overall spirit of the treaty. So what can be the implications? So obviously, since Pakistan has not given any kind of reply and still is in the 90-day period, we have to see how Pakistan replies. And even if suppose Pakistan does not give proper reply, or it does not take any proper action, desired action as by India, then how India will tackle this still is not very clear. Another important article under this treaty is Article 12, subclause 4, where it talks about the termination of the treaty. But here again, the same problem lies, that termination of treaty can also not be done by a single party unilaterally. It cannot be done unless and until both party agree to terminate the agreement, and thus similar kind of agreement having some differences or different provisions from the last one can be again agreed upon. So basically, India has not spelled out exactly what it wants modified in a treaty. So you have to wait and watch. Now, the question comes that what is the rationale behind sending such issues or notices to Pakistan, and why India has suddenly become very proactive on implementation of the Indus Water Treaty. So basically, after the URI attack that happens few years back, there is a growing demand in the Indian intelligentsia, in the Indian we can say political classes, that Indus Water Treaty should be used as a strategic tool by India, which it has not done till now. And in that case, the first thing what India has to do, that as we have discussed, India has full right over the eastern rivers such as Beas, Ravi and Satluj, but India is still not able to fully utilize its right, and that is the first thing India should do. For example, out of the 11,406 megawatt of electricity generation potential on this river, only 3,034 megawatt of potential has been put into use. Not only that, even if you look at the other western rivers such as Chenab, Jhelum and Indus, the limited right India has over these rivers, India has not been able to utilize that as well. For example, 3.6 million acre feet of permissible storage capacity is allowed on the CJI river, that is Chenab Jhelum Indus river, but India has not made any kind of storage capacity in this area. So this is something that can be done, and also because of the changing confrontation, the changing style of confrontation, especially in last 4-5 years between India and Pakistan, has caused a lot of thinking among the New Delhi diplomatic classes, so that the IWT Indus Water Treaty can be again modified as per the benefits of India. So significant point what we can again revise, that Pakistan gets 80% of water in the six river Indus system, and most important point about this treaty is that this is believed to be the only pact, only treaty in the world that compels upper riparian state to defer to interests of the downstream state. Upper riparian state means, for example, if a river is flowing from this direction to this direction, so whatever country is situated in the upper side of river, upstream of rivers are called as upper riparian state, and the countries are situated in the downstream of river are called as downstream side or lower riparian state. So this is the only treaty. Treaty was signed in 1962 and settled 12-year long fight about sharing of water. It gave green light to irrigation of almost 30 million acres in India and Pakistan, and it was believed that after treaty, number of people will that will have a benefit from this treaty will be around 47 million. So now the question comes, that can India rethink and can make significant changes in the treaty, and how it can be, how its implication can be observed. So first of all, obviously, if India tries to change unilaterally any of the provisions of treaty, it will obviously face a lot of international condemnation. It can also cause flooding in the cities if you are building a lot of dams in the upper stream areas, and also countries with water sharing agreement with India will become uneasy. For example, India is not the only upper riparian state. China is upper riparian state by Tibet for the Indus River, Satluj River, and as well as Brahmaputra River. Bangladesh is a lower riparian state here with respect to Brahmaputra River. So if India tries to unilaterally make any significant changes, any radical revolutionary changes in this water treaty by itself, it will also have problems in dealing with China and Bangladesh as far as the sharing of river water is concerned. So what we can say in conclusion, that the role of India as a responsible upper riparian state that has abided till now by the provisions of treaty has been remarkable. But obviously, due to the continuous attack that has happened in past few years from Pakistani side in the Indian territory, Indian government is under pressure to rethink the extent to which it can remain committed to the provisions of Indus Water Treaty, because overall political relations with Pakistan has become intractable, and thus the differences are very difficult to be resolved. So that is all for this particular video. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such helpful content. Thank you very much.